Assalamualaikum and a very good day. We are from Group 1 and we are going to present about the cracked road pavement in Jalan Parit Yusof, Kampung, Parit Tengah. For the introduction, in Malaysia, the road construction has begun before Malaysia get its independence from the British in 1957. The main objective to build the road back then was to transport products of mining and plantation because the sources are very important to generate the local and state economy. As of 2019, the total length of road in Malaysia, either federal or state roads, are now exceeding 250,000 kilometers. Malaysia's road can be separated in several classifications based on its road administration. For the toll highways, commonly it consists of 2 or 3 traveling lanes and also provided with emergency lanes. The highway will be connecting either cities, town or new development areas to avoid and reducing the traffic congestion in the federal highways. Toll highway managed by the concessions that was appointed by government that it also has interest in the organization. For the federal roads, all roads were declared under the Federal Roads Ordinance 1959. These roads are maintained by the federal government through the responsibility of Malaysian Public Works Department (JKR) and full funded by the federal government itself. For the state roads, it is generally comprising of primary roads providing intra-state travel between the district administrative centers. These types of roads is fully maintained and under responsibility of JKR and also the local authorities. For the background of study area, Kampung Parit Tengah is located in middle of border between Muar district and Batu Pahat. This village was found in 1942 with its original name of Kampung Sarang Buaya in Mukim Sungai Balang. In this case study, the name of the road is Jalan Parit Yusof. It was located in Kampung Parit Tengah Muar Johor and the road is linked to Jalan Muar Parit Sulong to Jalan Muar Batu Pahat. Also, this route is the only way of the villagers of Kampung Parit Tengah to go to the nearest wet market. With the estimation the length of the road of 3 kilometers, the road has the width of 3 meters. Along this Jalan Parit Yusof, the road has paired with a small ditch or channel, or we call it as a parit, with the width of 3 meters and the depth of 2 meters. The gap between the roads and the channel are about 2 meters. In the early 2019, the road has been resurfacing from the old surface road by the local authorities. Unfortunately, the road surface is becoming damaged as day by day.
For the problem statement, the first problem statement of the study in Jalan Parit Yusof, Kampung Parit Tengah, is the soil foundation under the road is peat soil type. Peat soil renowned for having a higher shear strength, lower compressibility, and a higher water content. Was especially vulnerable to deformation and failure at the light surcharge load. Assessing the peat soil was typically difficult because the water table was typically close to, on, or off above the ground surface. Okay, the next problem statement of the study is there was a water seepage from the ditch seeping into the pavement. Wet ground around the ditch is unstable and can rise to the bottom of the ditch. The groundwater table will rise and the moisture content in the root structure will increase. The third one is often the road is often get stressed from heavy vehicle. Heavy vehicle entering the village road to transport oil palm cause the road to be damaged from time to time. The road is the main road for the resident every day to commute for work in addition to producing agricultural products such as palm oil. And it is important to additionally point out that the width of the road is not too large and narrow. When passing another car going in the opposite direction, the vehicle that is traveling away from us would need to closer to the edge of the pavement.
So next slide, I will explain in relation to the PCI index that we obtained from our study. Okay, that the study was conducted in Jalan Parit Yusof, Kampung Parit Tengah. Okay, so as you can see from the table here, there are several of types of cracking for the pavement road that we have identified, such as alligator cracking, and also we have edge cracking, pothole, longitudinal and transverse cracking, and also weathering or raveling cracking. So after we identify the types of cracking, so we are supposed to calculate the density and also get the deduct of value. Okay, next we need to calculate the maximum allowable number of deduct value, which means the value of M. Okay, so the first highest deduct value we got from the table previously is 73. Okay, so after that we got the value of M is 33.5, and after that we need to decide the deduct value in descending order, and after that the number of deduct value we got 5. Since the maximum allowable number of deduct is 3.5, only the first 3 and 0.5 of the fourth deduct value are selected. So the overall we got the value is 6.35. Alright, so the next slide, we need to calculate the maximum corrected deduct value, which means CDV. Okay, so the total deduct value we got, the value is 127.85, and after that we need to find the CDV value from the chart curve. Okay, so we got 73, and after that we need to calculate the total of deduct value. Okay, so we got the highest maximum CDV is 79.
Next, to determine the pavement condition index, which is PCI, the calculation is 100 minus CDV maximum. The CDV maximum is 79 from the table above. So 100 minus 79, the answer will be 21. Based on the rating for PCI value of 21, this section of pavement is in very poor condition, which is we can see from the table standard pavement rating based on PCI. It is between 10 until 25, and we get 21, which is the rating is very poor. Based on the result, the maintenance activity should do reconstruction and deferred action. Manakala untuk jadual kadar harga, iaitu ringkasan tawaran untuk menurap semula jalan premiks di Jalan Parit Yusof, Kampung Parit Tengah, butiran kerjanya adalah kehendak am dan syarat-syarat am sebut harga dengan jumlah harga RM2,302. Kedua, iaitu kerja memperbaiki jalan dengan jumlah harga RM78,112.80. Seterusnya, pengujian di tapak dan makmal dengan jumlah harga RM1,000 Akhir sekali, memasang papan tanda jalan dengan jumlah harga RM500. Jadi, jumlah yang dibawa ke borang sebut harga adalah RM81,914.80.
For the recommendation, the first recommendation is to install geotextile and geogrids. Since the roads are being constructed above the pit soils, the pavement structures need to be strengthened enough to retain the weak soil beneath the structures. Hence, to strengthen the pavement structure, geotextile and geogrid needs to be added at the pavement structure. As for these studies, the geotextile will be placed at the bottom of the pavement structure between subgrade and subbase to separate the material used in the structure itself. And at the upper part, geotextile will be placed before the surface layer, which is shearing cores and binder cores, to avoid vertical water seepage from entering the pavement structure. Geotextile will also act as the reinforcement to the pavement structure. With the usage of geotextile in soil, it will increase the tensile strength of the soil, and it is the same theory still does in concrete. Geogrid is a type of geosynthetic material. It is polymeric structure that is produced in the form of manufactured sheets containing a large network of connected elements through different types of bondings. Commonly, the usage of geotextile is needed at the area of heavy traffic. Since these roads are connecting two main roads, heavy traffic will occur at several times. The application of geogrids will help to improve the strength and the stability of the pavement structures. For these studies, the usage or application of geogrid will be located at the between of subgrade, subbase, and surface layer. At the surface layer, geotextile can be placed at the middle of layer to act as a fast reinforcement to give more strength to that layer. For the second recommendation is culvert. To avoid the water seepage, the natural ditch should be replaced with a proper channeling, which is culvert. Generally, culvert is used to flow the water under the roads and railways, but in this case, the culvert will be installed beside the roads. The most suitable that should be installed in this area is open-top box culverts. Box culverts are made of reinforced concrete. The box cover is rigid frame structure and very simple in construction. Hence, it will shorten the time taken to install a culvert, and it can avoid the traffic congestion during the constructions. Thus, from the observations that has been made and following the standard size by the manufacturers, the suitable dimension of culvert in this case is about 2,780 mm width and 1,800 mm depth. For the third recommendation, maximum loading signage. On 2019, Department of Public Works (JKR) has stated that Jalan Parit Yusof is classified as list number 1 in Book of Road Statistics 2019 edition. List number 1 means the maximum weight of vehicle is not exceeded 5,000 kg or 5 tons can be used on the roads. Hence, to avoid the vehicle with a loading more than the maximum value, the proper signage needs to be placed at the entry of the roads boards ads. And lastly, the expectation of the recommendation. At the end of the study, Jalan Parit Yusof will have a very smooth surface of pavement. This is due to the pavement structure has been stabilized and strengthened by applying geotextile between the subgrades and subbase and between road base and road surface. In addition, geogrid relatively give reinforcement to the structure which been placed at the layer of the structure. Hence, heavy traffic also will no more affecting the pavement. With these kinds of road reinforcements, the road lifespan will increase and automatically will reduce the cost of the maintenance. Next, the traditional natural ditch also will be no longer in use. The installation of open-top box culvert will totally avoid the water seepage from the ditch into the pavement structure. At the same time, the box culvert will also provide a better flow of water and easy for the maintenance in the future. Lastly, the loading limit signage. The installation of the sign at every road entry can give the awareness to the driver before they use the roads.
The last one, for the conclusion, Jalan Parit Yusof, Kampung Parit Tengah Road is often used by heavy vehicle loading tons of plum oil. Jalan Kampung Parit Tengah also rarely has accident involving life except minor accidents. Based on our finding and analysis, geotextile are the appropriate material for numerous infrastructure projects like highway, drainage system, landfill, harbour and more. It prevents two neighboring soils from combining by separating subgrade soil from the base coarse aggregates. The natural ditch should be replaced with a proper channeling, which is culvert. We can conclude that the total value for the bill of quantity of general requirement and general condition quotation road improvement work on site and laboratory testing is installed road sign is RM 81,914 ringgit and 80 cents. Thank you.